Bricks and Minifigs is the poster child for your general stereotypical evil corporation owner. And now we get to see them get destroyed. Yes, I love destruction for assholes like this.
Bricks and Minifigs just put out a brand new blog post, and let's just say it's full of what we've come to expect with Ammon McNeff and his entire company, being lies, misconceptions, and some...
It's fascinating how this guy is defending like his soldiers. I will give him props for that. He is desperately defending the lower level people in his company, just dying for it. Basically, he committed multiple felonies personally to protect some criminal that fucked up in their whole scam apparatus.
Sneaky little tactics to try and switch the narrative surrounding this whole situation and tell a different story to what reality appears to be. So with that being said, let's get right into this. So first of all, what the blog post addresses is the true value of the collection being $95,000 to $100,000. Now, this was of course addressed in the CoffeeZilla video by Brian Mansell himself and other parties involved with this case, that this is likely close to accurate. 95 to 100,000. I believe the estimate in the CoffeeZilla video.
Yeah, but now it's something even bigger, right? So you wasted a bunch of Reckless Ben's time. You wasted a bunch of the Mansell family time. They probably have to borrow money, go into debt, and deal with the emotional stress for years. All right, this started back in 2004. They dealt with a bunch of shenanigans trying to get their money back. That is gonna be worth probably close to $500K, to be honest.
Was $107,000 was like the mid-range estimate. So I've been going with like the $100,000 to $107,000 range personally. And I think that's probably pretty close to what it is. So nothing bad there. Of course, you know, Bricks and Minifigs, that's probably one of the only things they get completely right in this blog post. They also claim that this, of course, aligns with Brian Mansell's own statements, which is true, and they claim that this aligns with the roughly $80,000 in products and or cash he allegedly sought when visiting the store in November 21st, 2024. So basically, after the whole takeover, Brian was like, all right, where's the rest of my collection? Give me like the 80,000 in cash or items or whatever is left, because he would have already received, I believe the number is in the $15,000 range from the agreement already from Crystal. But what's really interesting, and I don't know if Bricks and Minifigs has said something to this tune yet. I feel like I remember if they did, and they've been pointing their fingers at Crystal the whole time. And in the CoffeeZilla video, we clearly see that Crystal had some wrongdoing to have to do with this case, that she is not a completely innocent party either. Is she the villain? I don't know. You can make your own opinions about that. But in this blog post, Bricks and Minifigs claims that point of sale data allegedly shows $61,000 or potentially more was sold from the collection before November 14th of 2024. And they claim that Brian only receiving $15,000 in payments is a lot less than he should have received if $61,000 of the collection was indeed.
Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs investigation. Oh, through our own investigation, we found that we did nothing wrong. Well, shit, man. These guys seem like they're on the dots. You know, they said that they did nothing wrong themselves, so let's believe them.
Sold. But what's insane to me is the facts that Bricks and Minifigs is presenting from one side of this kind of disproves what they're claiming. Later in the article, they go back on their old figure of saying there's around $2,000 to $5,000 of items left in the store when Josh and Brandon Best took it over in November 2024, which is really interesting considering in the CoffeeZilla investigation, when he had those people go in and add up all these sets from all different pictures and investigate what was actually left of the store, and the number was closer to $20,000, Matt McNeff, Ammon's own brother and the COO of Bricks Minifigs, agreed that, okay, maybe there's $20,000 of Lego left in the store, and basically conceded that that could be true, and that the $2,000 to $5,000 figure is in no way 100% ironclad or accurate.
No, it's not great. But what's crazy, again, like all the photo evidence that both sides have points to there being Sure, $20,000 worth of Lego in this of Star Wars Lego in the store.
Which this blog post tries to present it as, but it's very interesting to see Matt McNeff, literally the CEO of the company, saying a completely different thing in CoffeeZilla's investigation. So how does this add up? Let's just say the collect.
Oh, well, our investigation said we did nothing wrong, right? Oh, our investigation said there's only $60,000. Oh, no, it went from what, like 100K to 95K to 90K. Now it's 65K. This is a tactic to just keep downplaying the numbers, so when they do lose the case, they can save more money when they have to pay up. I don't believe in anything they say. Every time they say we through our own investigation, we found that the Legos are actually worth half of what it really is. I mean, it's been proven that they're liars. Why trust them?
Was worth $100,000 from the start, and Crystal did indeed sell $60,000 worth of items. There would be $40,000 of items left. And let's say she did underpay Brian for the collection, whether it was her own fault or because Bricks and Minifigs had that, in my opinion, violent takeover of the store and basically didn't allow her to go through her books and properly pay Brian for what she owed him. That means there would be roughly $40,000 left of the collection if $61,000 was sold. And it is also said that Crystal returned a portion of the collection that she still had, maybe on an offsite location, maybe that she was able to bring with her when the takeover happened. I'm not entirely sure, but there is a claim that Crystal gave back some sets, including Cloud City, which is obviously like one of the most valuable Lego Star Wars sets, probably the most valuable.
Yeah, but then
Lego Star Wars set in this collection, that she gave back one of those Cloud Cities, which is.
But I think it's justified that they charge BAM for the time that they took the Lego set, like the time they spent taking the Lego set, all the legal battles, all the time spent, all the stress. They had to pay for that too. You cannot just hold on to someone's value. Like, imagine if you bought a brand new Porsche, right, for $200,000, and then you put it in the storage. The storage don't give you back your Porsche, and then hold on to it for 2 years. What's gonna happen to that Porsche? It's gonna depreciate in value. You lose time on enjoying the Porsche that you paid for with your own money. And there's potential damages, right? Wear and tear, time, and etc. It devalues the car, right? I mean, well, Legos don't really devalue, but then in terms of Lego collection case, you lose time from your Lego. Some people, they rent out Legos for like 5 to 10% of its value per week. You know, so basically. If they have $100,000 worth of their Legos and it's being held without the permission of the owner of the Legos, I think it's justified to just charge them like 5%, like $5,000 a week for holding on to their Legos without their permission. Basically, it'll be nice, right? How many weeks is in a year? 52 times 6,000. Yeah, I feel like BAM should pay the Mansell family that amount, because you're holding their Lego against their will.
Worth like 10, 15K on its own. So it is
could have been doing something valuable with those
that
Lego
Brian
sets.
also received a portion of the collection back from Crystal, because there have been claims about that. And let's just say that Crystal gave back like $15,000 to $20,000 worth of items to Brian after selling $60,000 worth of items. If we go off the $100,000 figure from earlier, that means after all of those sets being sold and some of those being returned to Brian, there'd be roughly $20,000 of items left, just like CoffeeZilla says he found in the store during the night of the takeover. There's around $20,000 of items left. Now, whether this $60,000 point of sale data allegation is true or not, whether Crystal actually gave $20,000 worth of stuff or less or more back to Brian, whether all these facts are accurate or not, all of these different claims and allegations and data that we have from investigations makes a pretty cohesive image in my head. I mean, the math, it kind of adds up. And assuming all these numbers are accurate and the conclusions I'm making are somewhat reasonable, then claiming $2,000 to $5,000 of items were all that was left behind in the store, especially after you literally already claimed earlier that it could have been $20,000 or somewhere near that left in the store, is so stupid. And it's what I'd expect from Minifigs at this point.
Is stupid,
but seriously, how dumb do you have to be interviewed?
It's stupid because these numbers are released by BAM alone. And if BAM could just make up any nefarious number for themselves and say, hey, yeah, your Legos are actually not worth 200K. It's actually worth just 2K. It's 1% of what you say. We, through our own assessment, is worth just 2K. Yeah, we'll give you 2K. Right? I think they're wasting a bunch of time, like arguing for the cost of Legos. Just go straight to the emotional damage, stress, and the theft and the felonies. You will make more money doing that.
Be caught in a lie, admits that you may have been lying and there may be $20,000 worth of items in the store, and then a couple weeks later, go on your blog post. You have to assume Ammon and Matt can greenlight these blog posts or choose not to post them, and knowing that they literally already admitted it could be
between 2,000 to 5,000. Look at that. Oh, according to our investigation and our estimate and our analysis, it's worth nothing. Yeah, you might as well just let us keep all your Lego sets and all the revenue.
$20,000 worth of items that were left in the store, putting the $2,000 to $5,000 figure in this blog post and greenlighting that is insane. And they go on to spew much of the same story they've been spewing for a while, which is, yeah, we're going to give Brian a reasonable offer for what was left in the store, you know, probably like $5K, whatever.
Hey, Brian. Hey, just hey, man, cell family here. We'll give you a reasonable amount, okay? $2,000. That's the best we can do, okay? Yeah, we stole your Legos for 2 years, and yeah, we made a bunch of profit off of it. So, you know, we can't help it. The money's in our bank right now. It's stuck there. You cannot access it here. We just gave you $2,000 back. They're trying to settle this out of court. They're trying to settle it out of court because, you know, there's all these Kickstarters that are paying big money to the Mansell family to sue their pants off, to sue Bricks and Minifigs pants off. And if they press charges, they can go to prison. It doesn't matter if you're, believe it or not, it doesn't matter if you are a multimillionaire or CEO of a big company. If you commit felonies, you still go to jail. Shocker. Look at Epstein. That guy's one of the most powerful men in the world. He still went to prison.
Or give them the sets that were left in the store they can recover, which would be around the 2 to 5K figure. And then, it's all fine and dandy. Brian's made whole. Right, and that's kind of what they want to do. Obviously, that's ludicrous. If there is $20,000 worth of items he needs to be compensated for directly from Bricks and Minifigs. Now, obviously, he needs more compensation because Crystal apparently didn't even get the chance to properly pay him because her books were kind of messy, and Bricks and Minifigs corporate didn't really give her the chance to properly compensate Brian during the takeover. So you can shift the blame to Crystal or Bricks and Minifigs corporate for that remaining. What would it be? Like, probably $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 that Brian is owed from either of those parties from those $60,000 worth of sets that were already sold. But with that being said, Bricks and Minifigs should know by now to take some accountability and actually offer something more than reasonable at this point. Because who cares, honestly, what you did from the start? Because how you
they're not going to do it. Why would they offer something more than reasonable? That would mean that they are admitting that they stole more than what's value. So after the court case is over, it's pretty much like if you pay more than what its value, you're basically committing a admittance of guilt. Like, oh yes, okay, we did steal this value worth of Legos. Yes, we did do this, we did do that, blah, blah, blah. And then like it's gonna put them up for even more charges. They're just gonna hang themselves essentially. It's pretty much an admission of guilt.
Treated the situation, how you've treated Brian Mansell, silencing him, using his name in all of your posts, and
they're trying to
making it seem like you're on good terms with him and you're offering him the best things while also having him silenced so he can't even speak up for himself. It's kind of wild, and just knowing all the facts.
You're talking morals and shenanigans. All right, don't forget, Bricks and Minifigs don't have morals. They're not going to give them more than reasonable to make it up. Like, oh, we're so sorry, we're genuinely sorry. Here, have more money than you actually deserve. They're not going to do that. No, they don't have morals. What you have to do is to get federal or the Supreme. Well, the Supreme Court's not going to get involved, but you got to get the feds involved and slam these people in jail.
Back to the story and how we've seen different parties treated during this. Reckless Ben, Brian Mansell, people associated with Reckless Ben, and all of that. Right? How they
know they deserve to go to jail.
They deserve compensation at this point. And Bricks and Minifigs' reputation is already down in the dumps. So literally what they need to do is just admit that they screwed up, make everyone whole, and maybe their reputation would have a slight chance at coming back.
If they do feel bad,
I think it's already gone, but that's still their best option. But no, they continue to make these faulty blog posts, lie. I mean, to my knowledge, these are outright lies from what I've seen, and they continue to try to paint this false narrative, even though they themselves have admitted different things in the past, and their story has changed like 23,000 times since the beginning of this situation. And the blog post kind of ends as far as like new things happening, because a lot of it is just the same things Bricks and Minifigs has said since the beginning, repeated. But one thing that Ammon says, which I find really interesting, is he calls this an isolated, unfortunate incident related to a single franchisee who did not obtain approval for any consignment arrangement. He says it does not undermine the integrity of their 300 plus other franchises.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are other franchises that have better morals and better business practice than that one in Salem. But I mean, the fact that the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs came and committed felony personally, got his own hand dirty to protect the crimes of one of his franchisees is a big issue. The franchise owner, cocksuckers, no doubt about it. All right, but admin, the CEO, should not go out of his own way to protect these two criminals, Brian Bess and what was the other dude's name? John Johnson? He shouldn't have got his own hand dirty, right? He shouldn't have lied to the cops, shouldn't have bullshitted, right? And now guess what? He should go to prison. I think he should absolutely go to prison. That would be justice. He should spend at least 5 years. At least 5 years, including the police and the justice departments in that city. They should both. Oh yeah, and the Church of the Mormon Church and the Mormon University should also be subpoenaed.
And he states their goal is to help make this family whole, enhance operational processes, and build a company his franchisees and customers can be proud of. But because of how many times we've seen Ammon McNeff and other people involved with Bricks and Minifigs say shady things, say questionable things, be caught in lies multiple times, changing their stories, and being exposed, it's really hard to try and trust someone when they say this is indeed an isolated, unfortunate incident. They can make any claims they want at this point, and I don't think anyone's going to believe them right off the bat unless they see substantial evidence, because the mistrust in this situation is probably pretty high because of the character we have seen from these people involved. Ammon McNeff, Matt McNeff, other people at Bricks and Minifigs corporate, the American Fork Police Department, everyone involved with this on the Bricks and Minifigs side of things. There is no good reason for anyone to trust what they say just because they say it at this point. There needs to be actual evidence shown to the public that is backing this up? Otherwise, how do we know this is isolated? How do we know there isn't many more stories similar to this? And I can tell you, I've gotten many emails, many comments, many anonymous tips about different things happening. There's a lot. I haven't reported on it all, but I have heard that Bricks and Minifigs being
Yeah. I mean, they're not the only company that does this, right? I mean, I had Levi's screw me over, with like some refund situation in the past. I had MSI screw me over with some rebates. These big companies are always pulling these stunts. And to be fair, I'm also very lazy. I don't report it, right? If I report it, nothing happens.
Professional, let's just call it, is not an isolated incident. It happens a lot. It has happened many times, and a lot of people have suffered at the hands of Bricks and Minifigs being unprofessional, negligent, and other things like that in the past, as far as I can see it. So there's really not a lot of reason, in my opinion, to trust what Bricks and Minifigs says up to this point, unless they actually present a lot of trustworthy evidence to back up what they're saying, because their words at this point mean nothing. So with that being said, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this blog post. Let me know if you believe anything.
They AI'd him onto Aquaman's body. Yeah, he does look like a cuck.
He looks like a mega cuck. Especially what he did to his father. He stabbed his own dad in the back. Apparently he legally, through the justice system, acquired the company through his dad. But, personal opinion, it's just opinion. I think he stole from his dad. If you look into the history of, right, with the Bricks and Minifigs belong to his father, and he's managed to screw his dad out of his own company because his dad trusted a bastard son